Cooties for Black Girl Nerds.
Hi guys, what's up? I'm your host Ryanne Bennett, and I'm so glad to be back. We had a week off. People's Critics Choice Awards was going on, or the Critics Choice Awards was going on, I should say. And so we're back. Episode 7. It's best you stop digging, and boy, was this insane, so intense, so crazy. It should have been called How Many Punches Can Batwoman Take? And she kept taking them. Woo, kudos for Batwoman to keep getting up, because woo, Lord, I would have stayed down a couple of them times. Some of them punches, man, and you can just see the kryptonite and everything going, but woo. All right. Well, let me pause for a second because I'm getting way too in it, but let's start from the top here. I'm going to break it down for you, going character by character here. So let me start with Alice, who I think was interesting how they kind of had Alice take more of a front seat for this episode, because we kind of know what's going on with Batwoman, so it's kind of woven in between the episode here. But okay, so Alice, by the way, gets cornered or faces off with Tatiana just from the get-go, because we know she's fake killed Ocean, and so she has to bring, she has to show the proof to Tatiana, then take it back to Sophia and Coriana. So we end up getting to meet off with them. She knocks Tatiana out as Tatiana is looking out over Ocean. And this is where we really get this kind of interesting story on how Alice got into this whole crazy soldier revenge mode and what exactly is going on with her and Ocean. So basically what we find out is that they're basically Alice and Sophia's relationship started over their hatred for Catherine Hamilton Kane, and we know that's Mary's mother, Jake, Kane's wife. It was Kate's stepmom, and she was into a whole bunch of like medical experimentations and stuff. And she's also responsible for making Jake and Kate think that Alice was completely dead and gone, and there was no way to find her, because she called herself helping. Or at least, that was put out there, whatever. She cared for him and wanted her and didn't want them to keep looking. But on the other hand, it's still his daughter. So, there's that bad blood there. So and apparently Catherine Hamilton did some kind of thing to Sophia. They're both, she was a scientist, so to speak, genius, had a lot of technology at her disposal. So no telling what went on with her and Sophia there. But basically, that's how they came together over common enemy. She ended up finding Alice on one of Catherine Hamilton's boats, drinking or whatever. So she kind of pulled her in, thinking that she can help her, whatever, onto this island. But come to find out, Sophia started to realize, okay, you're not controlling Alice. She figured, Alice had this revenge where she wanted to get back to her family. She could fight. She had all these different elements, but she was hard to wrangle in. So her brilliant idea was to bring in Ocean to kind of teach her how to be like a good little soldier, so to speak, to follow the path that she wanted to go on and keep her in line. But she ended up really digging Ocean, because, by the way, we seen Ocean, and dude, brother is fine. Like, he is fine. So I'm like, I ain't mad at her. She started really feeling and digging on Ocean here. So throughout that, we kind of get this mixture of Ocean, they go from being sparring partners to Ocean trying to tell her, like, hey, you need to learn how to get in touch with your feelings. It's not okay that you're just psycho revenge mode all the time. You need to get that under check. And so, and through this process, we kind of learn, more and more about how Alice has blocked these feelings, because we know what's going on in her past, of Kate almost noticing that she was kidnapped in this house with the crazy father and his son, which was Mouse. So we kind of get this, we get more of those flashbacks, or more of her just discussing and thinking about, how she kind of blocked off her feelings, because she was still numb for the fact that Kate didn't realize it was her. Kate was still little and she couldn't scream, and she couldn't let them know she was in the house kidnapped, but she's still feeling, that's still welled up in her. What she went through as a kid, can't even imagine. So, she still has that revenge, that hatred in her heart that she can't let go. But Ocean's trying to check her on that. So we get to see where their bond and that love kind of came and built for. We also notice here, now I found this, I was like, what? We also find out that Sophia was in love with Alice. And that does explain a lot of, we thinking, Kate is on the island. How she's always coming after Alice, but she's never killing Alice. It always comes like right up to the line and Alice gets away with it. So I thought that was very interesting. So basically, we have this, she loved Alice. She told her all the secrets of Coriana. Alice had other plans and loved Ocean. Ocean apparently loved her back, because he was going to steal the Desert Rose, get him some money, and him and Alice were going to get out the island until they got caught by Sophia. who then we figure out where the whole mind wiping thing came from. She ended up having a hypnotist erase both their minds, them never loving each other, all that kind of stuff, because she was just that pissed. He took the woman that she loved, and bottom line, that's all it was. So she was going to ruin their relationship and send Alice back, wiping out, taking out those feelings she was starting to develop of love, and basically sending her straight to be this hard killer to make her own game, to start tearing up Gotham. So then we get more and more of the origins of Alice and why she just can't let this rage thing go when it comes to like her family, to Kate, why she doesn't want to just stop no matter what happens. And we do get another cool moment too, where it's kind of like she was asking Ocean to kind of take her on a different path, because Ocean mentions, he's gonna going about his business. He has somewhere that he want to kind of stay by the water and everything, kind of just chill out. He's done as an assassin pretty much. He kind of wants to be low key. And you can see that look on her face. So she's waiting for Ocean to stop her, but he's like, going to live your life. It's been a while since they've been together or anything like that. So he's like, nope, I'm cool. I'm good. You go live your life. And you can kind of see the look on her face like, oh, I guess I have no choice but to keep doing down this revenge path. So we're like, okay, here we go. We're going to keep it going. So that was pretty much Alice's story here. And we get to see her and Tatiana kind of go off towards the end. They're going back to Coriana. So we're going to see how this goes down. Now that she knows exactly what Sophia did and how she kind of transformed her, we're going to get to see how that all pans out and lays down. Also, I want to mention here, kudos, shout out to the show, which I think is really dope. The villains, most of the villains on this show are women, which I think is definitely badass. I mean, you got Alice, you got Tatiana, you got Sophia, and just being able to see them, and they're all kind of caught in this weird like love triangle as well, because we find out that Tatiana also loves Sophia as well. So, shout out to the female villains. It's really dope, really cool. These actors are doing a phenomenal job to kind of see that going, because you don't get that all the time. So I just want to give a shout out to that. So that's dope. So that was kind of Alice's reign throughout. And I love how they kind of mix it up with her taking the majority of this episode. Sophie, Jake, I want to mention real quick here. They didn't have whole lot going on. They're still very much trying to find this map, because, Jake and Sophie aren't stopping until they find Kate. They know she's on Coriana. So they're trying to find this map. They had no success. The doctor that they were trying to look down that stole the map from the last episode, he had tried to drug out on himself, his staff. They were dead. So they had no leads. The map was burnt. And that's where we get the title where it says, you should probably start digging, or it's best for you to stop digging. So that's where we get that from. So yeah, they're very much, just kind of hope, maybe like slightly still a little bit hope, but despair. He's just like, I gotta keep going. I gotta find my kid. He has sympathy for Catherine Hamilton. We know we didn't get that in the past seasons, where he's like, okay, I understand why she lied to me about Alice, because he's just caught up in this endless cycle of needing to find his daughter. And, we see poor Sophie there. She's kind of along, she's a crow. She's kind of there to have his back, but there's not much she can do right now. So then we move to Luke and Mary. Luke and Mary, very much appreciative. I know that Batwoman was appreciative of them. They were very much on Save Batwoman team, trying to figure out how to prevent this kryptonite from completely killing her, because they have no way to get any of the desert rose right now. I love they had a cool moment where they're saving Batwoman, which I have no idea why she went to Angelique's apartment, which we're going to get to in a little bit. But I'm like, girl, what are you thinking? You already in pain. It moves up like some of the kryptonite is moving up to her brain. So I have no idea why she attempted she was going to do this, and think like, I don't even know how she's standing up right, to be honest. But they have this cool moment with Luke and Mary where they're trying to pull Batwoman to one of their vans, but there's also the Batmobile, because she stole the Batmobile to get over there. And you get to see Mary go like, oh, hell yeah, get the Batmobile. She has the, if you are a Batman fan, if you're a Batwoman fan, she has the prime moment that all fans want. She gets to drive the Batmobile. So I was so jealous in that moment. Ooh, it would be dope to drive the Batmobile. Although she should probably not confuse the windshield wipers with, I think she said some kind of firearm launcher or something like that. Like, yeah, you should probably get those, get the buttons figured out first before you steal it. But it's still a really dope moment. All right, so now we got to get the Batwoman. So we open up, Ryan is in a whole bunch of pain. Batwoman's in a whole bunch of pain. The kryptonite, she has acute radiation. The kryptonite has entered her brain, and we get to see this flashback off the top of her wanting to kill Alice, knowing what Alice did to her mom, even though, it was Alice's gang, but, it's still part of Alice, and so she's going to get her revenge. And so we get to, it's very heart-wrenching, because we get a lot of these flashbacks of her mom. And, there's one point she's doing her mom's hair, and her mom is telling her to stay away from Angelique, and that she thinks Angelique is dangerous and pulling her in the wrong circles. So we get to see a lot of that, and basically just her in this, she's hallucinating because of the kryptonite, but we get to see a lot of mom flashbacks. So it really tugs on your heart. So we get to see that whole combination going down. Luke and Mary going crazy to try to save her. When she does take the Batmobile and escape, when like it was just like a split second, Mary and Luke looked away, and I was like, okay, wow, she's gone. She was up and running. No idea how, because this kryptonite has definitely entered her brain. You can definitely tell she's in pain. She goes to see Angelique because she wants to find Ocean, because we all know her dead end game now is to find Alice, because she doesn't have enough time left, so she wants to get her revenge. Goes over to Angelique. Some woman comes out to behind Angelique, and Batwoman is spilling all these details about Angelique, trying to figure out, Angelique's like, well, how do you know all this stuff about my life? So I thought right there, I was like, oh Lord, she's getting ready to figure out this is Ryan, because it was going left real quick. She ends up getting a kind of a location for Ocean, although we know Ocean is kind of moving around right now, and I don't even think Angelique knows what's going on. So she kind of gets a location. Angelique, tell me why Angelique hits her off the balcony, y'all. Like she was just not having Batwoman at all. She goes crashing in the car. This is what I'm talking about. The hits that Batwoman was taking. I was like, Jesus. So she's laying on the car. She's knocked out. And that's when we get that cool moment that I was telling you about with Luke and Mary, when Mary gets to drive the Batmobile. So, we end up we still get this struggle throughout of Batwoman continuing to try to get after Alice and bringing Mary into it, saying, hey, this woman, like we're saying that we're protecting and keep people safe. And this woman killed both of my moms. She's a serial killer. She's a killer. She's still out on the streets. But, I felt a little hopeless for that at that moment, because I was like, oh God, she's dying. She's not going to get, that's what you can't use a suit for that. But she goes out, she finds Alice. They have this battle where she's just still screaming in pain. I'm like, oh my gosh. And we all know Alice is in her feelings right now. So I didn't think it was going to go well for Batwoman. It actually doesn't a couple times. So, but it does end up being this interesting moment where we see another hallucination of her mom, and her mom is like, look, I did not make you to be like this, Ryan. I did not turn you into this. So she lets her go. Thank God. I did not want them to try to make her into a killer this way, or have that on her belt as well. So she lets her go, but she does plant a tracker in her boot. So this is going to be really cool. I'm loving how Luke, and I feel like Mary kind of knows sometimes, but I know Luke definitely is still finding out that Ryan is this badass. She deserves to be in the suit. She's always thinking she's coming to this. It takes her a minute, she's going through that hurt of losing her mom, but she does think of putting a tracker on Alice to keep this going, because they need to get the Coriana. They need this desert rose, so they have a plan in motion. So I'm excited. I'm still nervous. She's still walking around with this kryptonite on. They left us another episode with that kryptonite inside of her. So we're going to figure out how this goes down. But yeah, another one in the books. We're going to keep this train going. I'm excited to see the rest of these female villains, to see how Batwoman comes out of this. I'm also kind of wondering real quick here as we end, I'm kind of wondering if they'll let the kryptonite kind of be a part of her. Will that enhance her powers? Because this is very interesting how we're tiptoeing in this world of kryptonite with Batwoman. So, this is really cool. It's dope how they're trying to put in some new fixtures here while we're still dealing with the whole thing of, okay, what's going down with Kate Kane? And we might get some of that in the next episode. So, hey, here we go. Let's see what they got. Thank you guys so much as always. Leave us your comments. Let us know. And I will see you for episode 8. Bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.